Good morning. Good morning. Welcome to the show. This is Randy's Corner, and I'm your host, Randy Clark. And if you happen to miss the show today, or you just want to catch up, you can always go to the WIL TV 47 YouTube channel, and you can get today's show. Now, let me give you a little traffic report. The roads are wet out there this morning, and 21's picking up fast, 280's picking up fast. Fort Williams and Norton, they're got rather slow this morning, but it's supposed to rain all day, so be careful out there on those roads. And today I have a special guest with me, and her name is Miss Deana Goodwine.
Good morning.
Welcome to the show. How are you?
I'm good. You better be careful riding that motorcycle this morning.
That's right. That's right. You're liable to slip down, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, you're new to the Sylacauga area.
I am. So
welcome to Sylacauga.
Thank you.
And we are so glad to have you. And your title at the high school is?
I am the Director of Workforce Development.
Okay.
So I have a lot of different roles, but one of my primary roles is with career and technical education. And I also work with dual enrollment and advanced placement
Do you
courses.
mind if I get a little personal?
Okay.
Could you tell us a little bit something about yourself and maybe mention your family?
Okay, sure. I have a wonderful husband, Alan Goodwine, and he is an attorney, and I have 2 grown children.
Okay.
And so my son works for Lockheed Martin, and so he does a lot of stuff that I guess is high security that I can't talk about, but he's a pilot.
Okay.
And so works on a lot of things for them. And then I have a daughter that's newly married. So I found out, it occurred to me the other day, I was like, oh no, I'm one of those people. I'm a mother-in-law now.
That's right, that's right. But that's a good thing.
Yeah.
Yes.
I was like, oh no, I'm one of those people.
Yeah, yeah. Well, it happens to the best of us. Okay.
Yeah.
Do you mind if I dive right into some questions?
Sure.
And these are career-oriented questions that myself and the viewers are kind of interested in, and I'm sure you're the one to answer them.
Okay.
Okay, so I know your title isn't career counselor, but you kind of work with them, right?
Right.
Okay, what exactly does a career counselor do at the school?
Well, what we try to focus on is really as early as the middle school grades. We're trying to determine the path that the students want to follow in high school and try to get them on that path so that in middle school it's a lot about exploratory courses. So we do have career and technical courses at the middle school level, and hopefully by the high school they're starting to find a pathway. And that was really what we had, a career and technical open house a few weeks ago, and that's really what that was about, is trying to find a track of courses that students could take, much like an academy, like a career tech academy, where they could find this track of courses and kind of specialize in high school so that they can find their niche or find what they like, what they're passionate about, and sometimes they might find out what they're not passionate about, and that's also a win for us.
That's important too.
If they find out that they don't love something, that's also good as well. And then that way, as they go through high school, then they can start finding out what it is that they feel like might be a career focus for them, and that's really what the career coach, the counselors are working on with the students, and we're working on that right now.
Right.
So we're starting that course selection process for the next school year already. Right. So we're working on selecting those courses and finding out what courses they will be working on, along with those core academic courses.
Okay. I want to commend you for starting this in middle school, because I don't know if you know or not, but Daybreak does Star Student of the Months, and we get kids of all ages in here. And I've noticed the younger kids, they kind of look up to their parents, grandparents, aunts and uncles, and they kind of choose a career. And a lot of times it might be something more fun related. But as they get on up, then their minds start, like you say in middle school, their minds start turning towards a pathway. And then by the time they get in high school, it's time to figure it out.
Right.
Because it seems like high school is so short, you know.
Right.
It seems to me like, you know, elementary school and middle school seems kind of slow, like you're never going to get to it, and then you want to get to high school, then all of a sudden you get to high school, and the next thing you know, it's over. Now what am I going to do? So thank you. I commend you and the counselors for looking towards these kids' future.
Right.
Okay. Now, next question. And this is similar to what we just discussed. How do students decide which career to work towards?
Well, all of our pathways start off with kind of a foundation course, which is kind of also an exploratory course. So it gives them a foundational level course that kind of builds on a secondary course that builds towards more of a capstone course. And so these courses culminate in what we want to be more of a work-based learning experience. Okay. Because if you think about it, if a student does choose, which every pathway doesn't have to lead to a college experience, right. There are other options. But let's just say that a student does decide to go the college route. If you go the college route, most of the time you go to college, your path will be having a work-based experience or some type of internship the summer before your senior year. Okay. That is too late to decide if that is the correct path. Okay. And so we have students that are deciding in high school that very thing. So for example, we have a very strong internship that's been, 20 years in the making with Coosa Valley Medical Center. In fact, we got an award this year from the governor's office for that work-based learning experience. Right. And that has been a very strong partnership. In fact, 10% of our students are employed full-time at the hospital. Right. So that is a very, very strong partnership. But students that are in that internship, they either realize, hey, this isn't for me, right. Or they find a passion there.
This is really what I want to do.
And they either go straight to work with the credentials that, they get either patient care technician or CNA, different credentials in high school where they can actually go straight to work with a full-time job from high school, or they may go on and get an RN, or some of them become physicians and right. Other paths. So they are able to take that and run with it, so to speak, and they learn that while they're in high school. Otherwise, if they do pursue a college route, they may not get that experience till right at the end of that college experience.
Exactly.
And that's that's really sad
Right
to
now.
think about.
I know. And you know, when we think of the medical field, we just think doctors and nurses, but there are so many careers in the medical field that
Right.
that they don't realize, and these programs that y'all have that y'all have come up with lets them get in there and get a little bit of, oh, I didn't know there was a radiology, or oh, I didn't know about operating procedures, or you know, there's so many fields in there.
Right. And let me just say, I mean, I'm thankful for the people that have come before me, because I mean, I haven't been here for almost 20 years. So
Right.
Christy Kane, I mean, she and Amy Price,
Right.
they're the ones that are responsible for setting that up. I'm just fortunate to be a part of continuing that. But what we're trying to do is take that model and set up that model for other programs. So what can we do for other pathways, such as welding and other things? And we're working on that with Central Alabama Community College. So we have a dual enrollment program set up with them. So students can learn that. They can learn machine shop. They can learn industrial electronics.
Now you're talking my language.
Okay.
I'm a ex blue collar worker. I was a welder, a pipe fitter, and that's leading up to a question I got here in a couple of minutes. But right now, I want to talk about this month is CTE Month. Could
That's
you
right.
talk about what went on at City Hall a couple of weeks ago?
Exactly. Yes, Mayor Heigl, he set that up. He signed a proclamation dedicating February as CTE Month for the city of Sylacauga. So that was really exciting. We had students there at the meeting, and it was an exciting day for us. So we're excited that we're able to celebrate that. And also our governor set aside CTE Month for the entire state as well.
And the purpose of setting these months up was because they seen how important it was. Am I correct?
Exactly. Yeah, it's an initiative throughout the whole country. So people do this all over the country, but the significance is that we have a lot of different activities that go on during this month already. We have a lot of focus because of, like I mentioned earlier, this is traditionally when students are looking at their courses. So therefore, we want to talk about our courses so they can be thinking about, hey, should I be taking a career and technical course for this next school year? We also are getting geared up for our competitions. So we have a lot of competitive events within
I bet that's
each.
exciting, isn't it?
Exactly. So we've got, speaking of the hospital, Coosa Valley Medical Center, they partner with us with our competitive events. So tomorrow they're going to be sending in some of their workers to work with our students in our health science competitive events. So they're going to do mock competitions tomorrow, and those competitions are coming up at the state level on March 2nd and 3rd. So they're helping us out with that.
Fantastic. We're almost out of time, but I got one more question for you.
Okay.
And this is, now to me personally, the way I was brought up, I think the blue collar worker is the backbone of this country. Are we setting our students, the ones that know they don't want to go to college, they want to choose a career, are we setting these students up to, for example, let them know where the welding schools are, let them know where the truck driving schools are? You know, some kids make their decision, like you said, you know, everybody's not fit for college. Now, I love college, don't get me wrong, but I just want to make sure robotics is a big thing, like for the Honda plant, Toyota plants, Mercedes plants. are we letting these kids know where these schools are, where they can possibly, you see what I'm trying to say?
Well, we are doing that, but what we're also doing is back to our CTE open house, what we were trying to do, and that is going to be an annual event. So we want parents and students next year to come out, because the whole idea is we're talking about our programs, and we had industry come alongside and say, here are the programs, here are the classes you can take, here are the careers. This is how much money you can make. And so it is astonishing to look at, without going and getting any additional training outside of what's offered in our schools,
Right.
what kind of money you can make.
Right.
Because we have students that can leave our school with a high school diploma and go straight to NEMAC and make as much money as they're making leaving college with a 4-year bachelor's degree.
Exactly.
They can make the exact same money.
Right.
And so before, a college degree equated money, and it's not the same today.
Right.
So we just need to educate people on what is available, and that's the whole
Give 'em a
purpose of
choice.
that night. Yes,
Right.
and that's what we're trying to do, is say, look, this is what's available. We want to let you know this. And I was my previous employment, I was associate dean at Jeff State, and so we had someone graduate with an associate's degree in electronics, which I was telling you how that's a great path as well.
Yes.
And this particular student got a job at Honda, which Honda's on my advisory committee
Right.
here, and so there are people in this community that work at Honda.
A lot of people. Yes.
Exactly. And this guy with an 2-year associate's degree went to work at Honda making over $100,000.
Right.
And people are doing that at other companies in this community as well. So
Right.
I just think that people just need to be aware of opportunities, that it doesn't always come in the form of a bachelor's degree.
Right. Dang, we're out of time.
We're out of time.
Thank you so much for coming in.
I enjoyed
only
it.
got through half of my questions. Will you come back?
Of course, I'll be glad
and
to.
we can do the other half of the questions.
Okay.
Thank you so much
Thank
for
you
coming
for having
in.
me. I enjoyed it.
And a couple of things I need to tell you about right quick is tonight is Spirit Night for the Sylacauga tennis team. It's out here at Chick-fil-A, so go out to Chick-fil-A and get you something to eat tonight, and you'll be supporting the Sylacauga tennis team. The Arts Council dinner Thursday night. Tickets are at the library, and you have to pick them up by lunch on Wednesday. And also, do not forget our brown bag series at the library Wednesday. If you hadn't been to one of these, try to come. And the doors open at 11:30. It starts at 12, and it lasts about 50 minutes or an hour. Thank you so much for
Thank
coming
you.
in. Welcome to Sylacauga. I
Thanks.
think, from what I understand, you're doing a fantastic job.
Thank
and
you.
Keep up the good work.
All right.
See you next time.